Okay, thank you. So let us start with our second topic, which is the kinematics of particles. So this topic class, we will discuss the different path of motion of particles as well as the mathematical formula to use in each situation. So ito ang learning outcomes natin, again, to acquire awareness ng mga principles governing the motion of particles, velocity and acceleration, and the topic outcomes is to identify the difference between rectilinear and curvilinear, in which na-discuss din naman natin siya sa introduction to dynamics, and apply the kinematics equations in solving rectilinear and curvilinear motion problem. Okay, dun class sa diniscuss natin, di ba? Na-discuss na natin dun sa ating introduction to dynamics, yung motion of the particle may either be rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. So, ito ay nire-review lang natin ha. Rectilinear motion, it refers to the particle as it moves along a straight line. While ang curvilinear motion, it moves along a curved line in 2 or 3 dimensions. So, sa rectilinear motion class, again, that is the motion of a body along a straight line path where all points of the body move in the same direction, and yung motion natin can be fully described using one-dimensional variables lang. While yung curvilinear motion naman, so that is the motion of a body along a curved path requiring 2 or 3-dimensional analysis because the direction ng motion natin changes continuously even if the speed remains constant. Yung velocity natin is nagbabago due to its changing direction, and the acceleration may have both tangential and normal components. Then, magfo-focus muna tayo class kay rectilinear motion of particles. So unahin muna natin So rectilinear motion is another name for straight line motion, and this type of motion describes the movement of a particle or a body. So it is said to experience the rectilinear motion, so yung body natin, if any two particles of the body travel the same distance along two parallel straight lines. Okay, so again, rectilinear motion ng particles natin, motion along a straight line. So everything happens in one dimension. So yung mga position, velocity, and acceleration all along the same line, usually sa x-axis lang siya nagmo-move, okay? So, ano example kaya natin ng rectilinear motion? So, ang may bibigay ko sa inyo example for rectilinear motion is ang paggamit ng elevators in public places. So, that is an example of rectilinear motion. So, ano pa? Yung mga bata na nag-slide, so yan, rectilinear motion lang din yan class. So yung motion ng planes in the sky, so that is also rectilinear motion, and the gravitational forces acting on objects resulting in free fall. Again, that is an example of rectilinear motion. So we have different types of rectilinear motion. So we have 3 types. First, we have the uniform, next. We have the uniform rectilinear motion. Kapag sinabi class na uniform rectilinear motion, it is a motion in a straight line with constant velocity. Next, uniformly accelerated rectilinear motion. So ano ibig sabihin naman ito? Ito naman class, yung motion in a straight line with constant acceleration. Okay, ulit, kapag uniform rectilinear motion, so that is a motion with constant velocity. Kapag uniformly accelerated rectilinear motion, so that is a motion with constant acceleration. So ano naman kaya yung last? So we have rectilinear movement with non-uniform acceleration. Ibig sabihin, that is a motion where acceleration changes with time. Since sinabi nga na non-uniform yung acceleration. Naintindihan itong tatlo. Okay, yes. Next. Okay. Next, for rectilinear motion of particles pa din tayo. So, meron tayo class na 3 basic equation of rectilinear motion. So, ito yung madalas yung gagamitin natin na formula. So, we have V sub F is equal to, so i-take note nyo to class ha, itong mga formula na to. Again, V sub F is equal to V sub O plus AT. So, ito ay ano na din sa physics. Next, S is equal to V sub O times T plus 1 half at squared. And last, we have vf squared is equal to v sub o squared plus 2as, where s is the distance in meter, t is the time of motion in seconds, v sub o, so that is the initial velocity in meters per second, at t is equal to 0. Since initial velocity, then v sub f is the final velocity. Naanuhan ko lang yung velocity class. V sub f is the final velocity after time t. Then yung a naman natin, so that is the rate of acceleration in meters per second squared. Okay, so pakikopya muna nitong ating mga formula. Okay, so next, pwede na? Okay, so proceed na tayo sa next. Since 'di ba meron nga tayong 3 types, so isa-isahin naman natin 'yan. So simulan muna natin kay uniform rectilinear motion. Ito na may maikli lang na definition. So for uniform rectilinear motion, when an object travels at a constant speed with zero acceleration, so ang tawag natin dyan is uniform rectilinear motion. Again, yung sinabi ko kanina, that is a motion or yung kapag yung particle natin is magmo-moves along a straight line with constant velocity. That means yung object na makakover niya is equal sa distances in equal time intervals. Hindi nagbabago yung speed niya. Hindi nagbabago yung direction. Ang acceleration niya is zero. So the motion is steady and unchanging. That is a uniform rectilinear motion. So pwedeng ibigay ko sa inyo real life examples ng uniform rectilinear motion. Yung train, moving in a straight track at a constant speed. So that is an example of uniform rectilinear motion. And ayun, so yun na lang para hindi kayo malito. Okay? Since isang motion lang siya, constant yung velocity. Ano? Then next. Ito. Yung sa mga tawag dito class. Pakita lang natin yung derivation. Wait lang. Papakita ko sa inyo yung derivation natin. Okay, so for uniform rectilinear motion, so we have the derivation dito class ng ds over dt is equal to v, which it is constant. So ibig sabihin, start from the definition ng velocity natin, yung rate of change of position with respect to time equals velocity and that velocity is constant. Then, separate lang natin yung mga variables or integrate natin din yung both sides in which add up all the tiny changes sa position natin from initial position to final position and add up the velocity over time from 0 to t. So, ibig sabihin class, itong left side natin na to, so that is the total displacement, and yung right side naman, that is the motion over time. Okay, so next, because the velocity is constant, so it comes outside the integral. So we get to evaluate the expression at the upper limit minus the lower limit. And the magiging final formula natin dyan, so we have x sub f minus x sub o. So yan class I, final position minus the initial position is equal to v, the quantity t minus 0. So ang final formula natin, so gagawin lang natin since may 0 dyan. Ito na ang final formula natin, x sub f or yung final position natin is equal to the initial position or x sub o plus v times t. So again, that is the final position which is equal to the initial position plus yung displacement natin due to motion. So this is the basic equation of uniform motion. Okay, pakikopya muna. Okay, so next. So we have sample problem or example number 1. Okay, a racing vehicle has an initial velocity of 10 meters per second and it covers a distance of 225 meters in 10 seconds. Find its acceleration. So basahin muna uli ang problem, i-analyze muna yung problem. Again, a racing vehicle has an initial velocity na 10 meters per second and it covers a distance of 225 meters in 10 seconds. So, find its acceleration. So, una class, ilagay nyo muna yung given. So, ano ang given natin dyan? So, we have the initial velocity na 10 meters per second. Naintindihan? Nakikita? Nasusundan? Then, ano pa ang given dyan? We have distance or S is equal to 225 meters. And ano yung 10 seconds dyan? 10 seconds, so that is time. So for the solution class, ano ang gagamitin nating formula dun sa binigay ko sa inyong tatlong equation? So alin kaya yung gagamitin natin dyan? Meron dyang S, merong initial velocity, merong time. So dun sa binigay ko sa inyong tatlong formula class, so pipili lang kayo kung alin dun ang merong given. So, dito sa ating example problem, so ang gagamitin natin dyan is itong equation na to. Yung S is equal to V sub O times T plus 1/2 AT squared. Kasi, nandito na si S, di ba? Meron na tayong given na S, which is 225. Meron na din tayong initial velocity given, that is 10 meters per second. Yung time given din na 10 seconds. Then, yung 1/2 A, so ano bang hinahanap? So ang hinahanap natin class dyan is yung acceleration mismo. So ito na yung ating unknown. Times t squared, so kumpleto class, di ba? Given lahat yung sa formula natin. So isa-substitute lang natin yung mga given, S is equal to 220. Yan. Inayos ko muna pala class ito, okay. So ayusin muna natin class yung mismong A. So pwede naman kapag nag-type kayo, kunwari, nag-type kayo sa inyong calculator, since ang S natin is 225 na, wait, ayusin ko nga. So, S natin is 225 meters. It is equal to, ang V sub O o yung initial velocity natin is 10 meters per second times T na 10 seconds plus 1/2 A, so ito mismo yung unknown, times T na 10 seconds. So ito class, pinakita ko lang dito na kapag ito na mismo yung hahanapin natin. So A is equal to 2. So 2 ito yon dahil 1/2. 2 times S minus V sub O times T divided by itong T squared. So ano ang magiging answer natin for the acceleration? So ano ang makocompute nyo? So ito yung class ha, ito din yun. 2 times 225 meters, ito yung S, minus 10 meters per second na initial velocity times time na 10 second divided by 10 seconds squared. Yes, Marl Kaiser Bakuyang.
Ma'am, ano po? 2.5 meters per second squared po.
Okay, very good. So the answer is 2.5 meters per second squared. So wag kakalimutan class yung unit ha. For acceleration, ang unit natin is meter per second squared. So yung iba, na-compute ba? Yun din ba ang lumabas sa inyo? 2.5 meters per second squared? Okay, so may question dito class? Sa sample problem, may question? Wala naman? Naintindihan? Okay. So next tayo. We have yung pangalawang type na, the uniformly accelerated rectilinear motion. So a body moves with constant acceleration, the motion natin is positive, so the speed increases steadily. While kapag naman yung acceleration natin is negative, so syempre, speed decreases steadily. Okay, so sa next naman, yung equation natin, okay, so this is equation may be derived by starting with the definition ng acceleration natin. That is, A is equal to dv over dt and A is constant. So we have integrate both sides lang din. So integral ng dv natin is equal to the integral ng a dt. Add up all then the tiny changes in velocity from the initial velocity to final velocity, and sa kabilang side naman acceleration over time from 0 to t. So since acceleration is constant class, it comes outside the integration. Lalabas lang yan si a. So pwede kang gawin nyo, nilalabas si a bago integral. So pwede naman yon. And then yan, the erase. Next, we have V sub F minus V sub O is equal to 80. So yan na yung magiging final natin dyan. And this is the first kinematic equation. So dinerive lang natin, class, kung saan nanggaling itong ating unang kinematic equation, which is yung V sub F is equal to V sub O plus 80. Again, the final velocity is equal to the initial velocity plus acceleration times time. Meaning, yung velocity natin changes linearly with time. Kaya ito, class, dinederive lang natin kung saan to nanggagaling itong mga kinematic equation natin. The next naman, let us now consider. So, na-picturean nyo na ba? Pero ito naman, class, ay isasend ko pa din sa ating Google Classroom if hindi nyo na-kopya or hindi pa agad na-picturean. Okay, so let us now consider the definition of velocity. So that is ds over dt is equal to v sub o plus at. So that is the rate of change of displacement equals velocity. So again, integrate lang natin yan both sides. So add up small displacements over time. And that we will let us consider the differential equation ng ating kinematics. So dito nalalabas, class, yung ating pangalawang kinematic equation, which is S, or yung distance natin is equal to V sub O times T plus 1/2 AT squared. So meaning, ito, class, yung displacement natin is equal to motion due to initial velocity caused by the acceleration. Okay, paki-screenshot or paki-kopya. Then, for last, finally, let us consider naman the differential equation of kinematics. Ayan. So we have relate the velocity change directly to displacement. So this comes from this integration. So this is the third kinematic equation. So kapag dinerive lang natin, lalabas dyan, class, yung ating pinaka-last na equation, which is V sub F squared, or yung final velocity squared natin is equal to V sub O squared plus 2AS. Meaning, yung velocity natin is nagde-depend on how far the object moves under constant acceleration. Okay, so paka-screenshot. Okay, so next slide, we have sample problem number 2. Okay, so basahin muna natin. A car is traveling at 67 mph or 30 meters per second when the driver steps on the brake, slowing the car down at a rate of 3 meters per second squared. So ito, class, ay naka-squared. How long and what distance will be required for the car to stop on dry pavement? So anong given natin dyan? Ito na, class, nilagyan na natin ng or ito. So 30 meters per second. So this is the initial velocity. So lagay lang natin given for V sub O, or initial velocity, we have 30 meters per second. And ano pang given dyan? The driver steps on the brake, slowing the car down at a rate of 3 meters per second squared. So ito ay acceleration na, base lang din sa unit. Pero question, class, is it positive or negative? Yung sa acceleration natin, positive ba siya or negative yung acceleration? So basahin niyo yung problem. Sinong sumagot nun? Sino yun? Si Jeremy. Okay, so tama, Jeremy. Okay, so may reset ka na. Okay, so that is correct. Since, ang sabi sa problem, The driver steps on the brake, slowing the car down. So meaning, ang ating acceleration ay negative 3 meters per second squared. Okay? So for the solution, so anong equation kaya ang gagamitin natin, class? So ang tinatanong na, how long and what distance will be required for the car to stop on dry pavement? So ano muna natin, ang una nating mahahanap? So anong gagamitin muna natin equation, class, base dito sa given? Anong equation kaya? Sino makakapagbigay sa akin? Kung tandaan nyo yung mga equation. Yes, Karil, Cheska?
I think po yung second, since ang hinahanap po is yung time at saka po yung S, meron na rin po tayong given na initial velocity and acceleration. So ang gagamitin po is yung S is equal to initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time squared po.
Yes, tama naman. Pero yung ano muna yung una nating makukuha? Yes, Emilio Rafael.
Ma'am, since naka-indicate po ang initial velocity, acceleration, tas indicated din po ang final velocity which is 0 po dahil sabi po na may stop. So magagamit po natin yung equation na final velocity equals initial velocity plus acceleration times time. Then pagkuha po ng distance is yung S equals, ano nga ba yun? S equals initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time squared po.
Ano nga answer mo? Yung V sub F? Alin? Yung pangalawang equation?
Ang first solution po is yung pagkuha po nung sa time
Sige.
is yung final velocity VF equals initial velocity
Okay,
VO
so
plus
tama.
acceleration times time. And then since nakuha na po natin yung time doon, pwede na po natin makuha yung distance gamit yung formula na
Okay.
S equals VO times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time squared.
Okay, very good. So that is one way. Okay, that is one way yung sinabi mo, Mr. Azogue. Tama? Si Azogue nga yun, no? Okay, so dito, class, ipapakita ko naman sa inyo yung ibang way pa din. Pero tama naman, kahit ano yung gamitin nyo doon, base doon sa ating tatlong kinematic equation, yung 3 basic equation. So dito, ginamit ko muna, class, ito. Pero okay lang din yung sinabi mo, no? Na ang mahahanap is yung time. So dito, uunahin muna natin is yung distance. Since meron na nga tayong final velocity na nag-stop, which is 0, 0 yung final velocity natin. Then yung initial velocity natin is itong 30 meters per second plus 2 times yung acceleration na negative 3 meters per second squared. Then ito ang unknown. So mahahanap natin yung distance gamit itong formula na to, no? Substitute lang natin, the final velocity 0 is equal to the initial velocity na 30 meters per second squared plus 2 times the acceleration na negative 3 meters per second squared times S. So ano ang magiging value ng ating S or distance? What is the distance? Yes, Elaine?
150 po.
Again, what is your answer?
150
150 anong unit?
meters po.
Okay, so the distance or S is equal to 150 meters. Sige, try nyo yung sinabi kanina ni Mr. Azogue, kung ganyan din ang lalabas na answer sa distance. Na-try nyo ba yung ibang formula? Na-try nyo? Okay, so proceed muna tayo sa paghanap ng time. Okay, so very good. Next muna tayo. Anong sunod natin gagawin o ano nang gagamitin natin dyan? So dito, class, pinakita ko muna dito, pag ito ang ginamit natin, itong equation na final velocity is equal to the initial velocity plus acceleration times time para mas madali kayong makapag substitute ng mga given. So we have the final velocity na 0 pa din. 0 0 yung final velocity natin. It is equal to ang initial velocity given na 30 meters per second plus ang acceleration natin na nakuha kanina. Ang acceleration natin pala ay kulang ako dito ng formula. V sub F is equal to 80. Bakit ako may 2? Wait lang. Computein nyo nga, class. Ang ginamit ko pala dito, class, ay yung kanina din. Ito. Yung VF squared, VO squared, plus 2AS. Ha? Ay, hindi, tama. May mali lang ako. Mali lang yung nag-times pa ako sa 2. Hindi, tama na to, class, sa itong equation natin. Itong formula pala. Ito lang ang wala dapat. In color natin. So, burahin na lang natin to. Okay? So, that is 30 meters per second plus negative 3 meters per second squared. So, ito ay dito. Okay? So, pakicompute ano ang magiging value ng time natin. Yes, Louie.
10 seconds po.
Hirona. Yes, so that is 10 seconds. So class, meron pa tayong ibang way. Try naman natin kapag ang gagamitin natin is yung... So that is the answer. So try naman natin, class, kapag ang gagamitin is yung ibang formula. So ito, sulat ko na lang din para meron kayong ibang pwedeng gamitin. So anong pwede natin gamitin pa? So the formula na S is equal to V sub OT plus 1/2 AT squared. So since meron na tayong na-compute na distance which is 150 meters. So it is equal to ang initial velocity natin? 30 meters per second times time. So ito yung hinahanap plus 1/2. Ang acceleration is yung negative 3 meters per second squared times t squared. So, try nyo, class, computein. Ano din ang magiging answer natin dito? Ano ang time? Kapag ito ang gamit na formula. Pahi-compute nga. Ano na-compute nyo na, class? Pwede kayo mag-shift solve. Yes, Bernaline.
10 pa din po.
Okay, very good. So, pareho lang, class. 10 pa din ang lalabas na answer dyan sa kapag ang ginamit natin ay ibang formula. So, yun pa din yun. 10 seconds. Okay, so pakikopya nito. Yung iba, na-compute ba na 10 seconds din ang value ng time? Okay, so pakikopya muna. Okay, so let us now proceed to the next slide. Okay, so next we have rectilinear movement with non-uniform acceleration. So when an object travels at an irregular speed and acceleration, it is known as rectilinear movement with non-uniform acceleration. So yeah, next, when bodies are acted upon by variable forces, they move with variable acceleration. Since the acceleration may vary in many ways, there is no general equation as in constant ang acceleration. So basically, there are three principal variables, which is the S, V, and A. Meron ba nag-raise ng hand? Wala naman. Again, S, V, and A related by a common parameter which is time natin. So each of these principal variables may be expressed in terms of time t or even a combination of the others. So below class or sa next slide natin, we have cases of rectilinear movement with non-uniform. Ito, andito kasi yung below. Below are the cases of rectilinear movement with non-uniform acceleration. So sa case 1 class, so sinasabi, kapag case 1, the displacement is given in terms of time. So to find the velocity and acceleration. So for this case, di ba, we have the formula V is equal to ds over dt, in which yung A din natin is equal to dv over dt, in which it is equal to d squared s over dt squared. So ito yung case 1 natin. Again, the displacement is given in terms of time. Okay, to find the velocity and acceleration. So ito yung formula natin or yung ginagamit natin madalas kapag meron tayong hahanapin na velocity and acceleration. Then for case 2 naman, the acceleration is expressed in terms of time. A is equal to f of t to find the velocity and distance. So dito naman, ang ginagamit naman natin dito class ay yung dv is equal to a dt sa case 2. In which, in-integrate lang natin to both sides. Integrate both sides. Ito, dv, it is equal to the integral ng ating a dt 0 to t. Okay, so yan class yung kanina kong pinakita sa inyo na integration at derivation. Kaya nakuha natin yung ating mga kinematic equations. Then next for case 3, the velocity is given in terms of time, in which v is equal to f of t. So case 3 lang naman class. Dito lang natin gagamitin itong sa acceleration. A is equal to dv over dt. In which, or integrating it determines the displacement. So integral nung ds is equal to integral ng ating v dt. So for case number 4, one of the principal variables is expressed in terms of adjacent variable. A is equal to f of v or v is equal to f of s. So the procedure here is to use either A is equal to dv over dt or yung v natin which is equal to ds over dt to relate to the given variable in terms of the time. Okay, say, kunwari, yung A natin is equal to dv over dt, it is equal to f of v. So, it is equal to, or integrate natin ng dt with respect sa t, initial time, with respect to time, which is equal to dv over f of v in the initial velocity to final velocity. Okay, so ito yung ating case number 4. And lastly, for case number 5, so buburahin ko na to class. Matataklo ba ng ating case number 5? Okay, so next for case number 5, we have the given variables are not adjacent. So for example, yung A natin is equal to f of s. So in this case class, sa-substitute lang natin dito yung given relation in v dv o is equal to ads. So separate the variables and then integrate to obtain one variable in terms of its adjacent variable. Okay, so ito class yung ating case 1 to case 5 of the rectilinear movement with non-uniform acceleration. Okay, so proceed muna tayo sa comparison naman between uniform acceleration and non-uniform acceleration. Okay, so for uniform motion and non-uniform motion, so in terms of average speed class, kapag average speed for uniform motion, the motion is similar to the actual speed of the object. So kapag naman non-uniform motion ng average speed, so the motion is different from the actual speed of the object. Okay? So next, for rectilinear motion naman, ng uniform motion, so it has zero acceleration. While sa non-uniform motion ng rectilinear motion, it has non-zero acceleration. Since non-uniform nga yung motion niya, so that is non-zero acceleration. Then for distance naman, or yung graph natin, sa graph ng uniform motion, so the distance time graph shows a straight line kapag uniform ang motion. Kapag non-uniform motion class, the distance time graph shows a curved line. And lastly, yung distance ng uniform motion natin, it covers equal distances in equal time interval, while for non-uniform motion, it covers unequal distances in equal time interval. Okay, so next na tayo. Next na main topic natin. So tapos na tayo kay rectilinear motion. Again, question class kung nakinig. Question muna. What are the 3 types of rectilinear motion? Ano yung 3 types ng rectilinear motion natin? Yung iba, yung wala pang recit for today. Sino pa? Sino pa? Ano yung 3 types? Yes, Lian. Moika.
Ano po, uniform rectilinear motion, uniformly accelerated rectilinear motion, and rectilinear movement with non-uniform acceleration.
Okay, very good. So, sino makakapagbigay sa akin ng isang basic equation of rectilinear motion? Kahit isa lang. Sino? Ano yung natatandaan nyo sa mga equation na binigay ko sa inyo? Yes, Sean Marl.
Ma'am, ano po? Velocity squared is equals to initial velocity squared plus 2 times the acceleration and the change in distance po.
Okay. Acceleration times distance. Okay. Thank you. Meron ka na pala, Sean. Okay, next. Sino pa? Yung may dalawa pa. O, isa pa ulit. Isa pa. Yes, Krisha May Camacho.
Final velocity equals initial velocity plus acceleration times time po.
Okay, last. Last equation. Sino pa? Sino pa? Sino pa? Yes, Rensmar Ramos. Ay, wait lang. Sorry. Nauna si Paulo Hernandez. Sige, next ka, Rensmar.
Distance po, yung displacement equals initial velocity times time plus 1/2 times acceleration times time squared po.
Okay, very good. Okay, so Rensmar Ramos, because we will proceed to our next topic. Again, what is curvilinear motion? So ano ang natatandaan mo sa na-discuss na din natin nung ating introduction for curvilinear motion? Rensmar? Kahit ano lang yung natatandaan mo, kahit keyword lang for
Ano po,
curvilinear.
ma'am? Siya po yung nagta-travel po sa hindi po siya straight, like curve po.
Okay, so okay na yon. So for curvilinear motion class, so this is the definition. It is defined as the motion that occurs when a particle travels along a curved path. Okay, so the curved path can be in 2 dimensions in plane or in 3 dimensions. So in curvilinear motion class, the displacement vector will change in both the magnitude and inclination. So anong pwedeng maging example natin for curvilinear motion? Sino makakapagbigay sa akin ng mga example ng curvilinear motion?
That's a very good question.
Sino pang wala? Meron ka na ba? Ano nga? Ayan, sige. Ikaw, di mailig, Oriel.
Ma'am, pag ano po, nag-shoot po ng bola.
Okay, so that is curvilinear motion. Yes, pwede. Pag-shoot ng bola, dahil pa-curve. Oh, yes, may projectile siya. May projectile din. And then ano pa? Yung class, sinasabi ni Oriel ay yung parang may projectile siya, no? Pero hindi pa siya mismong example ng curvilinear motion. Bibigyan ko kayo isang example. Earth moving around the sun. So that is curvilinear motion. So ano pa? Tama din yung answer nga ni Oriel, a ball thrown upward. So, dapat talaga pa-upward siya and may projectile. So, that is example ng curvilinear motion. Sino pa makakapagbigay? Yes, Julie Star. Kulyat.
Pag-ride po sa roller coaster.
Yes, pag-ride ng roller coaster. That is right. So, that is example of curvilinear motion. So, meron pa ba? Yes, last na. Charles Daniel.
Ma'am, yung pong pag-ikot po ng wheel ng sasakyan,
Curvilinear motion.
Apo yung pag-ikot po ng wheel, di po ba?
Yes. Yeah. Tama. Or a car taking a turn on road. Tama naman siya. Or mismong ang example ng curvilinear niyan is mismong yung kotse mo is naikot sa mga rotonda kunwari. Yung paikot-ikot. So that is example of curvilinear motion. Pero yung motion din ng cycle wheels, yung sabi mo nga. So yeah, that is also example ng curvilinear motion. Ayan, so naintindihan yung class ang example ng curvilinear at saka ng rectilinear. Magkaiba talaga sila? Okay. So next. So for rectangular components, so we have the rectangular components ng ating curvilinear motion. So the motion of a particle, so it can be best described class along the path that can be expressed in terms of x, x natin, y, axis, and z axis. So yung position vector natin, so for position vector class, so yung particle natin at time t, so it is defined by the vector between the origin O, so ito yung origin natin, of a fixed reference frame and the position occupied by the particle. Okay, kapag yung particle natin class is at point X, kunwari andito siya sa point X, nasa point Y, and nasa point Z siya, so for example, ito nga yung particle natin, on the curved path S dito, so ito yung ating curved path S, so ito yung particle, for example nga, nandito siya sa point ng X, Y, and Z. On the curved path S as shown in this figure, then its location is defined mathematically by position vector. Okay? So, ang position vector natin, class, so we have R is equal to XI plus YJ plus ZK. So, ito, class, ang ating position vector. Okay, so ito class R is equal to xi plus yj plus zk. So if the particle naman natin class moves the x, y, and z components of R will be functions nung time natin. So pwedeng x is equal to x times t, y is equal to y times t, or z is equal to z times t. So such that yung R natin, R natin is equal to R times t, therefore defined mathematically as R is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. Okay? So, tapos na tayo dito kay position vector. Proceed naman tayo. Sulat na lang natin muna si velocity. Ano? Kapag kay velocity naman, class, late kasi nung pentab kaya ang pangit ang sulat. Okay, so the velocity ng particle natin is the first derivative ng r natin in which v is equal to dr over dt, which is it is equal to d over dt times xi, dun sa base sa figure natin kanina ha, plus d over dt times yj plus d over dt times zk. Okay, so when taking the derivative, so it is necessary to account for changes in both the magnitude and direction of each of the vector's components. So the derivative ng I natin, component of R, is acceleration. So we have next for the acceleration naman. For acceleration, yung equation ng particle natin is obtained by taking the first derivative ng v of x, which is equal to x. Then v sub y is equal to y. Then v sub z is equal to z. Okay, so ito class ang gagamitin natin for acceleration. A is equal to dv over dt. So lagi nyo naman itong alam, which is it is equal to a sub xi plus ay times j plus azk. So, ang a sub x natin dito, so that is the velocity times yung x natin, or first derivative ng vx natin. Okay, so first derivative ng vx. Yung a sub y naman natin, so that is the first derivative ng vy. And a sub z, so that is the first derivative naman ng v sub c. So for acceleration, we will be having the formula square root of a sub x squared plus a sub y squared plus a sub c squared. So z ito, z. Okay, so paki-take note na lang nito class. So position, velocity, and for acceleration ng rectangular components of curvilinear motion. Okay, so proceed tayo sa ating example. Hala, wait lang. Nakabiyan nyo na ba ito, class? Puburahin ko na muna to ha. Sige, pakikopya muna. Or paki-screenshot. Okay na? Pwede na class burahin? Okay na, sige. Erase ko muna yan. Okay, so let us take this example. At any instant, the horizontal position of the weather balloon, so ito ang figure natin, is defined by x, ito yung x, which is equal to 80 feet, where t is in seconds. If the equation of the path is y is equal to x squared over 10, determine the magnitude and direction of the velocity and the acceleration when t is equal to 2 seconds. So anong hinahanap? The magnitude and direction ng ating velocity and the magnitude ng ating acceleration. Given tayo ng x and y components, given tayo ng time. Screenshot nyo nga muna to class para may solution natin sa next slide. So, basta analyze yung muna class yung problem ha. Again, at any instant, the horizontal position ng ating weather balloon, so ito class ang tinitignan, is defined by x is equal to, so dun sa x niya, that is 80 feet, where t is in seconds. So, hindi pa mismong given kung ano ang value ng x natin kasi 80 pa lang yon. So, kailangan nahanap muna natin yung time. Later, if the equation of the path is y is equal to x squared mismong kung given na pala yung time, so dito sa problem, given na, so pwede siyang i-times na agad. 8 times 2, which is equal to 16 feet. So that is 16 feet, yung x. Determine the magnitude and direction of the velocity and the acceleration when t is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, so na-screenshot nyo na ba, class? Yung problem? Screenshot nyo muna para tayo ay makapag-solve next slide. Okay, so next. Ano ang given sa atin? Isa-isahin natin, class, ha, for the solution. Given tayo, class, doon na horizontal position, in which yung horizontal position natin is yung x is equal to 8t feet. Feet yung kanyang unit. And yung equation or yung path equation niya naman, yung y natin is equal to x squared over 10. So, given tayo ng time which is 2 seconds. Anong hinahanap again kanina? So, the magnitude, sulat na natin isa-isa, class, ano? So, sumunod na lang kayo or intindihin nyo itong ating solution. Magnitude and direction of velocity and the magnitude of acceleration. So, mismong acceleration na lang isulat natin. Acceleration. So, anong una natin gagawin dyan, class? Since ang velocity natin is the time derivative ng position and yung figure natin kanina is 2D, so we will use V is equal to V sub X times I plus V sub Y times J. Okay? So yung X component of velocity natin, so given nga tayo ng X is equal to 80, ang gagawin natin dyan is to differentiate with respect to time. So, Vx natin is equal to dx over dt, in which it is equal to 8 feet per second. Yung velocity to, class. Then, for y component naman, so ito, class, yung x component, ha? So, this is the x, ang pangit, wait lang. So, ito, class, yung x component. Then, for y component naman, yung ating velocity, so we have to, meron naman tayong given kanina, di ba? Y is equal to x squared over 10. Since y, class, is nakadepende siya sa x and x depends on time, we use the chain rule or yung chain rule na gagamitin natin, yung Vy is equal to dy over dt, which is it is equal to dy over dx times dx over dt. Okay, so makakancel lang natin yan. Ano, ang kalalabasan, yung first derivative muna natin, yung dy over dx. Sulat lang natin dito isa-isa. First derivative. So we have, ano ang first derivative natin, class? Sa x squared over 10. Nito. Asan na yun? Ito. First derivative natin. So, we have y is equal to, o yung dy over dx na natin, since first derivative na nga to, it is equal to 2x over 10. Tama? Nasusundan? Ito, class, ang first derivative. Nito. 2x over 10. So, yung vy natin is equal to 2x over 10 times yung dx over dt natin kanina, ito, which is 8, times 8 lang. Then now, we will evaluate at t is equal to 2, yung x natin is equal to 8 times 2, which is equal to 16. Okay? Naintindihan nyo to, class? So, ang x na natin dyan ay 16. So, since feel ko naman, mas madadalian kayo, 8 times t, so that is 8 times 2 lang din, given ang time na 2, so that is 16. So, pinapakita ko lang to, class, based doon sa ating case ng rectilinear motion kanina, or for curvilinear motion. Okay, so meron na tayo, class, na nakuha, na x is equal to 16, na na-evaluate natin, na ginamit natin yung time, which is equal to 2. Then now, substitute na natin to, class. Itong 16 sa v sub y. So anong v sub y natin? So that is 2x over 10 times 8. So we have 2 times, ito yung nakuha natin na 16. Ibahin na natin class ito para hindi kayo malilito. In color. So evaluate or sa-substitute na natin itong v sub y. 2x over 10, sulat ko na lang muna din, times 8. So that is equal to 2 times yung x na na-compute natin na 16 over 10 times 8. So ano class ang magiging value nitong v sub y natin? V sub y is equal to 2 times 16, that is 32. Divide 10 times 8. Ano ang value nitong v sub y natin, class? Paki-compute nga. Yung wala pang receipt, Sino pa? O sige, try ko magtawag. Achanza Arabella. Ayan, andito ba si Arabella? O sige, ikaw na Acel.
25.6 po.
Okay, anong Flandes? Okay. Okay, so the answer is 25.6. Since yan ay velocity, ano ating unit? Ano ang unit natin dyan? So we have 25.6 feet per second. Feet per second. Okay, so ito class, hindi pa ito yung ating final answer, tama? So anong next step natin? So hanapin na natin yung magnitude of velocity. So paano makukuha class yung magnitude of velocity? Magnitude of velocity. Sulat na natin dito. So magnitude ng velocity natin is v is equal to square root of v sub x squared plus v sub y squared. So try nyo nga computein, ano kaya magiging value ng v natin? So ang v sub x natin class is 8 squared. Since yun na yung given natin sa v sub x, plus yung na-compute natin class na v sub y, which is 25.6 squared. So what is the value ng v natin or magnitude ng velocity? Yes. Sino pa ang walang receipt? Meron na si Vernaline eh. Wait lang, Vernaline. Yung iba munang wala. O meron na din. O sige, ikaw na Vernaline. Kasi lahat naman na nag-raise ng hand ay may receipt na.
26.8.
26.8 feet per second. So that is the answer for the magnitude of velocity. Again, v is equal to 26.8 feet per second. So ito class ang magnitude ng ating velocity. How about the direction? Paano natin makakompute naman yung direction ng velocity natin? Di nyo ba tanda, class, ang formula? Yan, sino ang nakakaalala? Yes, Karil. Paano natin kukunin, class? Ang
Inverse tangent po ng Vy over Vx po.
Okay, very good. Inverse tan ng Vy over V sub x. O, meron ng formula. O, sino makakapagbigay sa akin ng value, ng direction? Yes, Maria Rabi Joyce. Ilagan.
72.65 po.
Okay, so that is 72.65. Or pwede namang, 65 tama ba? 72.65 degrees. So that is the answer for the direction of velocity. Okay? Paki-screenshot class or paki-kopya muna nito bago tayo mag-proceed sa acceleration. Sa paghanap naman ng acceleration dito sa ating sample problem. Okay, so ito'y madali pa na. Madali pa naman. Siguro para mas madalian kayo, since given na tayo ng x is equal to 8 times t and given na yung time, so ang gagawin nyo na lang, substitute nyo na lang yung time or yung 2 dito sa t, since 8 times 2 is equal to 16, so yun na yung ating x. Then for y naman, yung y component, kinuha lang natin itong first derivative class ng y is equal to x squared over 10, which is it is equal to 2x over 10. So ito class yun, times, since ang vy ay kailangan ito, yung pinakita ko sa inyo ito, times 8 lang natin. Okay? Kaya ang na-compute natin for vy is 25.6 feet per second. So kapag nakuha nyo na yung horizontal component at saka yung vertical component, so madali na mahanap tong magnitude ng velocity and also yung direction, in which yung v lang is equal to square root ng vx squared plus vy squared. Kaya nag-come up tayo sa magnitude ng velocity, it is equal to 26.8 feet per second. Then for direction naman, so that is inverse tan ng vy over v sub x, so that is equal to 72.65 degrees. Okay, so may question pa dito class sa una? Sa paghanap ng magnitude and the direction ng ating velocity, wala naman. Pwede tayo mag-proceed sa acceleration. So proceed na tayo class sa acceleration. So matatapos tayo before 12. Okay, so for acceleration naman class, so ito na yung ating last na sample problem kasi. Okay, so for acceleration naman class, so 'di ba kanina sinabi ko sa inyo yung acceleration is derivative ng velocity. So we have a, so pwedeng a na lang is equal to a sub x times I plus a sub y times j. So yung x component class ng ating acceleration, so nakuha na natin kanina yung v sub x is equal to 8. So since it's constant, so yung a sub x natin is equal to d v sub x over dt, which is equal to 0. So recall nyo kanina, so di ba meron tayo kaninang y component of acceleration. So ito class yung x component na ng acceleration natin. So sulat ko lang para detail tayo. Ito ay x component. Next, ito naman yung y component. Okay, so for y component naman, so i-recall lang natin we have b sub y is equal to 2x over 10 times 8. So ito yung kanina natin, 'di ba? So differentiate using the product or chain rule. So we have a sub y is equal to d over dt times itong v sub y natin, which is 2x over 10 times 8. Okay, so yung a sub y natin is equal to 2 over 10. So derivative na nito, so that is 2 over 10 times 8 dx over dt. Naintindihan? Since dx over dt, so meron tayo yung dx over dt natin is equal to 8. Class, ito ay detailed na talaga ha. Dinidetailed ko na ang pagdidiscuss. So we have a sub y is equal to 2 over 10 times 8. So ito yun class ha. Dito lang yan. 2 over 10 times 8. Then ang dx over dt natin is 8 din. So ano magiging y component natin ng acceleration? So 2 over 10 times 8 times 8. What is the answer? Ano answer natin dyan, class? Yes. Sino pa, class? Yes, Carmela.
12.8 po.
Okay, so ano ang unit? 12.8, acceleration. Okay. Ay, ano? Ang given sa atin ay feet. Naka-feet siya. So this is 12.8 feet per second squared. Okay? So, meron na tayong vertical component ng acceleration. We also have the horizontal component ng ating acceleration. So, anong sunod na gagawin? Compute. Ano ang kino-compute? Magnitude of acceleration. Alam nyo na kung paano mag-compute ng magnitude. Try nyo nga, since meron naman na tayong given ng a sub x tsaka a sub y. So, a is equal to square root of ax squared plus ay squared. So, ito yung class ax squared yung given. So, sino ang sino pa? Sino pa? Yung wala pang receipt. Yung iba naman, yung iba. Meron na kayo lahat. Sino pa?
Kung may tanong regarding lab, kasama niyo naman po naglalab. Si Sir Charles.
Ay, wala na. Sila ang nataas ang kamay. Class, binigay ko na ang formula. O i-ano nyo na lang yan sa calculator. Square root of ax squared, so that is 0 plus, square root lang ng 12.8 squared. Anong answer? Kahit hindi nyo na yan, yes, Kenneth. Kahit hindi nyo na yan computed eh.
Ano po, ma'am? 12.8 po.
Again.
12.8 po. Per second squared po. Bale,
Okay, so that is,
anim po kami.
ang dami nyo naman. Sino yung mismong sumagot nung 12.8? Lahat kayo? Si Kenneth na, kanya yung account eh. Next time kayo, yung mga magkakasama dyan. So again, nakakompute na natin kasi yung magnitude of acceleration, that is 12.8 feet per second squared. Okay, so this is our final answer. So again, kapag class I exam natin, since diba nahinanap natin ang magnitude ng velocity. So, maglalagay lang kayo ng isang table ng isang box na yung magnitude ng velocity, magnitude of velocity is equal to kung anong answer. So, ano nga magnitude of velocity natin kanina? So, that is 26.8, no? 26.8 feet per second. Tapos, ang direction is equal to 72.6 degrees or 65 degrees. Then for acceleration, it is equal to 12.8 feet per second squared. Okay, so kailangan ng conclusion ng lahat ng tinatanong sa isang problem. Okay, so may question dito sa ating sample problem. So for getting the magnitude and direction ng ating velocity and acceleration, may question class? Naintindihan naman? Okay. So, let us now proceed. So, patapos na tayo. Ay, hindi pa pala tayo patapos. Konti pa. Ito naman ay puro mga definition of terms. Okay, so we have the tangential and normal components of curvilinear motion. So, the tangential components of the acceleration reflect the change of speed, while the normal components reflect the change of direction. The tangential component may either be positive or negative, while yung normal component always points towards the center of path curvature. So the relationship for the normal and tangential components also apply for particle moving along a space curve. Okay, so dito class, kapag kay tangential and normal components ng ating curvilinear motion, tama. Curvilinear motion, so yung velocity vector natin ng particle is tangent to the path of the particle, while in general, the acceleration vector is not. So yung plane na magko-contain ng mga tangential and normal vector, so yun ang tinatawag natin na osculating plane. So important points about dito class, so we have the curvilinear motion which can cause changes both sa magnitude and direction ng ating position, velocity, and acceleration vectors. And the velocity vector is always directed tangent to the path, and in general, yung acceleration vector natin is not tangent to the path, but rather it is tangent to the hodograph. So yung hodograph natin class, ay yun yung parang graph na merong osculating plane in which if the motion is described using rectangular coordinates, then yung components natin along each is meron tayong tinatawag na projectile. Okay, so for projectile, so it is an object thrown into space upon which the only acting force is the gravity. So in other words, the primary force acting on a projectile is gravity. So this doesn't necessarily mean that the other forces do not act on it, just that their effect is minimal compared to gravity. And yung path followed by a projectile, ayan yung tinatawag natin na trajectory. So example natin dyan, a baseball batted or thrown. So yung baseball na tinapon or Yan nga, and the instant the bullet exits the barrel ng gun are all examples of projectile. So again, ang projectile is any object that once projected or dropped continues in motion by its own inertia and is influenced only by the downward force of gravity. So yun ang tinatawag natin na projectile. Next, what is projectile motion naman? So kapag naman sinabing projectile motion, so when a particle is thrown obliquely near the Earth's surface, it moves along a curved path under constant acceleration that is directed towards the center of the Earth. So we assume that the particle remains close to the surface of the Earth. So the path of such a particle is called a projectile and the motion is called projectile motion. So class, ang projectile motion, that is the motion ng isang object that is launched into the air and then moves only under the influence ng ating gravity, which ini-ignore nun ang air resistance. So again, kapag kunwari nagtapon ka nga lang ng bola, katulad ng sinabi ng inyong kaklase kanina, nag-throw ka ng ball, it follows a curve path. So that yung curve path na yun yung tinatawag natin class na trajectory naman. So for projectile motion, so meron yung independent motions happening at the same time. So we have horizontal motion and vertical motion. So sa horizontal motion, that is the constant velocity. Kapag vertical motion naman, that is the accelerated downward by gravity. Okay, next. Ito, yan. So ito class, in a projectile motion, so explain na lang natin, there are two simultaneous independent rectilinear motion. So along x-axis and along y-axis. So dito class, kay x-axis, so that is the uniform velocity na responsible for the horizontal motion ng ating particle. So ito, for example, sa horizontal. Then along y-axis naman, or ito, so that is the uniform acceleration which is responsible for the vertical or downwards motion ng ating particle. So sa next slide natin, so i-discuss ko lang sa inyo yung steps for a projectile motion analysis. So for step 1, calculate the components of velocity. So mamaya mas madidiscuss ko pa yan sa inyo. For step 2, write down the equation of motion. Step 3, calculate the time of flight. Step 4, calculate the range ng ating projectile. And last, for step 5, calculate the maximum height. Okay, so unang class, yung sa unang step, calculate the components of velocity. So dito class, di ba ito yung ating velocity. So yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina class, kapag kinakalculate natin ang components ng velocity, we will be having a horizontal velocity or itong ang v of x and the vertical velocity or itong v sub y. Okay? So the horizontal velocity component v sub x, so we have the formula v of x is equal to v cosine alpha or cosine kung ano ang angle natin dito. For example, ito class ay 30 degrees. For example lang class, that is 30 degrees. Paano nyo mako-compute ang horizontal velocity kapag given tayo ng velocity is equal to 45 meters per second? So that is simply 45 cosine ng 30 degrees. So ano yan class? 45 cosine ng 30 degrees. So that is equal to 38.97. Okay, so yan, example lang to class ha. So ito ang magiging horizontal velocity. Kapag given tayo ng velocity, pinapahanap sa inyo for example, find the horizontal and the vertical velocity given ng angle. Given din ang velocity. So pag hinanap ang v sub x at v sub y, ito lang ang gagamitin nyo. For horizontal velocity, v cosine alpha or kung anong given na angle. So that is simply 45. So yun ang given na velocity, 45 cosine 30. How about sa vertical velocity class? Ano naman kaya kapag vertical velocity? Paano kaya natin siya kukumputin? Given pa din yung 45 meters per second na velocity and 30 degrees na angle. Sige, yes, Karil.
Sine po.
Okay. So that is sine. Nagagets niyo ba, class? So kapag vertical velocity component naman ng v sub y, so that is simply v sub y is equal to v sine alpha. O paki-compute nga ano ang magiging v sine or ang magiging value nitong v sub y. For example, 45 ulit yung given. Sine ng 30 degrees. So ano magiging answer natin dyan? So that is, yes, Paulo.
22.5 po.
Okay, so that is 22.5. So yun, yung iba class ay mga nakakadalawa ng receipt. So that is 22.5 meters per second. So naintindihan class ito. Buburahin ko na. Ayan. So sana naintindihan ito, no? Pagka-calculate ng components of velocity. So madali itong step 1 natin. So next, for step 2, write down the equations of motion. So ano ba yung mga equation ng motion? So we have the distance. So pag distance, the horizontal distance traveled can be expressed as x is equal to v sub x times t. So velocity times time lang yan. For vertical distance naman, so we have the formula for vertical distance from the ground is described by, so paki-take note ito class, y is equal to h plus v sub yt minus gt squared over 2. Then, pag horizontal ang acceleration naman natin, so that is equal to 0. Then, kapag vertical ang acceleration natin is equal to negative g, may negative yung gravity because only gravity acts on the projectile. So, ito class ay sa distance. Ito naman ay sa acceleration. Okay. So, paki-take note lang nitong ating formula for distance. And tandaan nyo, kapag ang horizontal acceleration, that is equal to 0. And kapag vertical naman ang acceleration, equal to negative gravity. Next, step 3, calculate the time of flight. So, by calculating, the flight ends when the projectile hits the ground. So, we can say that it happens when the vertical distance from the ground is equal to 0. So, in the case naman where initial height is 0, we have the formula na v sub y times t minus gt squared over 2 is equal to 0. Then, from that equation, we find that time of flight is t is equal to 2vy over g, which is equal to 2v sine over g. Okay, however, if we're throwing the object naman from some elevation, which is h is not equal to 0, kapag ang height natin is not equal to 0, then the formula we obtain is a quadratic equation, h plus vy times t minus gt squared is equal to 0. And after solving this equation, so magkakaroon tayo ng formula na t is equal to v sine alpha plus square root ng v sine alpha squared over g plus 2gh. Okay, so paki-take note nitong ating mga formula. Okay, so next. For step 4, we have to calculate the range of the projectile. So yung range class ng projectile natin, so that is the total horizontal distance traveled during the flight time. So again, if we're launching the object from the ground, in which yung initial height natin is equal to 0, then we can write the formula as r is equal to v squared sine 2 alpha divided by g Okay, next. So for initial elevation naman class, differing from 0 or ang h natin is not equal to 0 pa din. So we have the formula R is equal to V cosine infinity. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang limit. Okay, so range ng projectile natin, again, the total horizontal distance traveled during the flight time. And lastly, for our last step, so we have to calculate the maximum height. So when the projectile naman class is nag-reach siya ng maximum height, so kunwari, na-reach na yung maximum height ng ating projectile. So it stops moving up and starts falling. So it means that its vertical velocity component is nagbabago from positive to negative. So in other words, it is equal to 0 for a brief moment at time t. So yung v sub y natin is equal to 0. And in the case naman ng launching a projectile from some initial height h, we need to simply add the value into the final formula. So ano yung magiging final formula natin? So h max is equal to h sub o or yung initial height niya plus v squared sine alpha squared over 2g. So yung alpha natin dyan, so that is the angle. Ano? Lagi yung angle. Okay, so paki-take note lang yung ating mga formulas. So ito, nandito pa din naman yung mga next. Projectile equation motion or projectile motion equation. So isusulat ko pa din naman dito sa ating PPT. Andito pa din yun, nilagay ko na. Isa-isa, okay. So again, for launching the object from the ground in which yung initial height natin is equal to 0. So ang horizontal velocity component natin, v sub x is equal to v cosine alpha. Vertical velocity, v sub y is equal to v sine alpha. Time of flight, so ito ang ating gagamitin. We have t is equal to 2v sub y over g. Then, for range of projectile, we have r is equal to 2 times vx times v sub y over g. And for the maximum height, so we have h max is equal to vy squared over 2g. Yan class, ay kapag ang initial height mo ay is equal to 0 ha, then, kapag naman class, launching the object from the ground, ang initial height nyo is greater than 0. So, we have the formula kapag horizontal velocity component. So, we have v sub x is equal to v cosine infinite. So, ito class, ang maximum height naman natin. So, ito pa din. Katulad lang din nung kanina, kapag ang initial height mo ay equal sa 0, h max is equal to h plus vy squared over 2g. Ang vertical component naman, or vertical velocity component, so ganun pa din, vy is equal to v sine infinite, then time of flight natin, yan, dito iba na class, t is equal to v sub y plus the square root of v sub y squared plus 2gh over g, and for the range of projectile, so we have r is equal to v sub x times the square root of vy squared plus 2gh over g. May nag-raise ng hand? Sino yon? May question?
Napindot lang po, ma'am.
Okay. Sige. Okay, so paki-take note lang nito. So magkaiba tayo ng gagamitin. Kapag ang initial height is equal to 0 and kapag ang initial height natin is greater than 0. So yan, may question class. So tapos na tayo. Sorry. 12 na. Sakto lang class. So may question na class sa ating naging discussion for today. So, naintindihan naman. So, tapos na tayo sa kinematics of particles. Anong next topic natin? Kinetics ang sunod. Okay, so, i-ano ko lang ulit kayo na meron tayong prelims next week. For prelims, yes, meron naman tayong terms para naman makabawi-bawi. Basta tandaan lang yung ating mga discussion. So, pwedeng aralin nyo yung ating mga formula. Siyempre, magagamit nyo. So, dapat sa ulo nyo yung mga formula. Lalo na yung 3 basic equation na kinematics. So yan, baka yan ay gamit na gamit sa ating prelims next week. So yan class, since 12 na, saktong 12 na, kung wala naman ng question at naintindihan talaga yung ating discussion, so thank you for attending and thank you for listening. So nag-overtime na tayo, so para kayo ay makapag-lunch na din. So pwede na kayong mag-leave sa ating meeting. Thank you everyone!